All right, let's talk about the next one on our first four, number 3 here, and that's the Miami Hurricanes. I think they had probably one of the biggest turnarounds in college basketball last year. They had a fantastic trio. Really, only one of those are coming back, and that's Isaiah Wong. He had 15 points per game last year, and he had 10 points, or I'm sorry, 10 games where he had at least 20 or more. I really like Wong in this situation. I also like, and you're going to hear me say this a lot, I follow the Sun Belt quite closely, but you're getting one of the best transfers from the Sun Belt. You're getting the Sun Belt Player of the Year from last year, Norchad Omier from Arkansas State. Miami, what I like about this team is that they're not afraid to tell you that they're going to go out and look at the different rosters from the ACC, and they're going to see how they can match up against you. And then they're going to decide what kind of basketball they're going to play. They said that all last season. It worked out for them. They turned their team around. They're not afraid to do that again. They're going to see what kind of roster they have. They're going to line it up against the rest of the teams in the ACC, and then they're going to decide, are they going to stretch you out? Are they going to play you down low? This team is dynamic, and that is something that you can't say about some of these other teams we just mentioned. I think that they have a very unique skill set that is going to make them be one of those scary teams all the way up through March, maybe April. Steve, that's how far I really like this Miami Hurricanes team. A lot to be excited about on this one.
Overrated.
Oh, all right.
Overrated.
So there's our first disagree. Okay.
And then you might want to take your headphones off when I say this.
All right. Okay. Go ahead. Give it to me.
Norchad Omier is going to learn very early on that the ACC is not the Sun Belt. In a 1 or 2 game bracket in a tournament, perhaps you can shine and show what you got. In the ACC, a much more rugged conference, a much more competitive conference, night in, night out. You're gonna, unless you're coming to Pittsburgh or Georgia Tech, you really do have to put your max effort in every single night. I don't think that his potential is going to come out at Miami. Miami, year in, year out, struggles with consistent play in the front court. That's why that's a very important addition through the transfer portal. But I mean, Miami eventually, and they talk a good game. Oh, we're going to beat you at your own game, but they really don't have the depth, and their front court gets pushed around in big games. So is Miami a tournament team? I think they're a bubble team. I mean, odds are they probably will make the NCAA tournament, especially if they do okay in the ACC tournament. But I don't see what everybody else is seeing here in Miami. They could quite possibly shut me up come January and February. But I have a pretty good feeling, just like on my baseball podcast adventures, I always hold back that I told you so until the end of the year and then play that card and sit smugly and say, told you so. I think that's going to be the case of Miami. Do they have enough talent? Do they have the talent to be really, really good and surprise us again? Yeah, but I don't think that they are better than some of the other teams we're going to still talk about here in the ACC. And I think at best, they're a bubble team.
All right. Well, there's the first one I got to write down to see what you have for I told you so's. All right, cool. I'm glad we don't agree on everything, because that would make a very boring show. It'd make a very boring show. So I'm a lot higher on Miami than you are. We just determined that one. Good to hear. It seems like we're pretty much in the same pace with UNC and Duke, though. It's really hard not to be.